Oh, right. Hi, I'm Kev. There's been a recent post on Facebook in one of the Egyptology groups showing a lovely Senet board. And I happened to respond with a photo of the one that I made back in the early 1990s to mid 1990s, which is loosely based on one that was from Tutankhamun's catalogue. Pretty much this is the first book on Egyptology that I ever purchased myself, and in there happens to be a rather nice board, and I based it loosely on the dimensions to about third scale size of Tutankhamun's one. So this took about a month to build. It was possibly one of the most tricky bit of carpentry I've done ever, probably. I think it probably is. A lot of marquetry, because I wanted to do a fairly well inlaid board. So the outside is just a few planks of wood, really. I've got a small marquetry of the goddess Mart on that end, the other end's blank, but it was the board itself. This took probably about a month to make, and it's two shades of veneer alternating, well, three shades, because we have some starting points, and I'll go through the gaming rules that I picked up in a moment once I've done sort of the physical stuff. So we have this board of 30 squares, 3 rows of 10. I made a load of throwing sticks, and I'll explain these in a mo. I wanted to produce counters fairly familiar to the ancient Egyptians, but I didn't have the resources for manufacturing metal ones, so I just picked up some various quartz, crystal that I had lying around, and I used those to make the playing pieces, with the idea that eventually I'll actually make the components, but you know, we're 20 odd years later and I still haven't got round to it. But anyway, to the board and the game. The rules that I sort of work with are based on some rules I think I picked up from an example at the University of Oxford. They had some rules set, I can't remember what it was about, but so I used this, and the method I play is the same since all that time. I haven't varied it. From what I gather from various other examples, that most seem to think it's sort of now sort of developed into backgammon. So the rules I use sort of have some modern aspects, but possibly they could be ancient, you know, who knows. But anyway, so here goes with the rules, because this was what was requested. So each player has 4 of these throwing sticks. They're two-sided, two colours, and these are about 6 layers of veneer glued together. These took a long time to glue because they had to be completely dry for each other, otherwise they'd bend. So you've got 4 each. So what happens then is effectively you can throw 1 through to 6, but no 5. So you have 3. So that'd be 4 because it's all the same colour. So that'd be 3, 2, 1, and then when they're all the other colour, 6. So 1 through to 6, except for 5. Now, I'm not sure how accurate some of this stuff is, but I think we have starting point of 4 and 6 to throw. So you start this corner up here, go along, down, down, along, and then off the board like you would do in backgammon. So you throw a 4 or a 6 to start. 6, if you throw it, you throw again. It's fairly common. I'm not sure how old that method is, but it's in a lot of dice games nowadays. So you move along. Each player, if you throw a 4 or 6, you can get to start. And you continue all the way round, knocking each other off until you get the exact number to come off. Now we've got 3 squares down in the middle here. I really should get a better zoom. I can't control it from here and I'm on my own, so no zoom. So the top one, if you land on that, you're protected, no one can knock you off. If you get to this one, then it's a lucky chance one, so you throw again. But if you land on that, your piece comes off and you've got to bring it back onto the board again. So what I'll do is I'll stop the recording and I'll do a bit more of a close-up and throw and speak over some part of the game being played. One sec. Right, so, okay. We have the board layout. So if I just grab my pieces, so I have 5 each for each of the 2 players. So we'll pretend, and I'll play both hands. So we get our throwing sticks. As I say, I'll take, in this case, just so the contrast is better, that'll be 6 and that'll be 4. So we throw to see who goes first, or basically anyone who can land on these starting 4 or 6 points will get their counters on first. Oh, look at that, 4. Isn't that lucky? So we're on for 4. Next player has a go. Can't go, that's just a 1. Got 1 there, so we go for there. Now, there is strategy. It's a lot of luck, but there's also planning. This could take a while to get the other player on board, but let's just say they've got it on, and we'll stick a few others around. Like backgammon, you tend to have strategy in that you can attack if you're further back. So if someone's further down and you need to move, you can choose to take someone off the board or get yours home. So it's, when I've played this with the kids, it can actually go on for quite a long time, because you can get very close to the end, and you know, if you need an exact number to get off, you could be there for a while and someone can just shoot up behind and just knock you off, push you back, and then you're gonna have to start again. It is, there's no outright easy win. You can get to almost everything off the board and then someone comes in and wipes you out, and then you're stuck and they get off. It's a quite a stressful game at times, depending on how you play it. But there is strategy and there's a lot of luck. So, as I said, we have obviously now these 3, you can see them hopefully a little bit clearer. So on there, then this one can't take it. So that's sometimes really good for the strategy side, to get, you know, a few through there, and then they can come out and just knock them off very quickly and easily. It's a good sneaky move. This one is for throwing again. It's a lucky square of luck, and you get to throw again. You land on that and you're off, and you've got to come back from the beginning and work all the way down. So these 3 aren't used at all. They're just there to make the pattern easy. So 4 or 6 to start, all the way down, then this way. Oh, because I'm looking up in the camera and it's reversed, I just made a mistake there. I'm supposed to go that way. Whoops. I might cut, but we're never. I'll leave it. Yeah, you know, it's. Oh, I'm not used to this recording lark. So, and then down and then off and then exact number off. Now, that's how I've always played it. lots of rules vary. There's many other boards that I've seen with completely different layout. I can't remember if this Tutankhamun one is a different location as far as the well, actually no, I can vaguely see it very similar, that there is, looks like the water hieroglyph here, that I think is similar. There might be something under there, but the shadow's not great from the book. I know there's a black and white copy in here, but you know, and I've seen plenty of others. Well, actually no, I can't see it from the black and white here is such a sharp angle, you can't actually make out what the squares are on the board. But I had actually wanted to build all these legs as well. I would love to do a full size one. As I say, this is a 3rd scale model of, well, not model, dimensions of this particular board. So, you know, that's about 40 to 50 centimetres, something like that. I could get a tape measure out of the drawer behind me. So, you know, it is quite a large board. So, and of course then I make the box to keep all the bits in, and you know, that's just a bit of padding, spares, and so on. So it is a really enjoyable game, and you know, if you've got different square layouts doing different things, I did write a computer version where you could change some of the board layout around and so on, and you know, it may sometimes see the light of day. But however you do yours, enjoy it, because it is such a satisfying game to play. And you know, and we like the tactile, and in particular I really like throwing sticks rather than having dice. I think I remember seeing on one of the same, I think it was the same archaeology group, a picture of a die, which was, I think was a late period. I can't remember what period that was, but you know, I'm sure they had them. But I think throwing sticks are really nice and tactile and quite more satisfying than a die. So enjoy, and hopefully this has sort of answered the initial question about what Senet is, and go off and make your own. As I say, I can't remember what this wood was. It certainly is a nice dark hardwood, but you know, this is a prized possession, this, with the amount of work that's gone into the marquetry and few layers of varnish. Enjoy. Oh, and I'll give you a bit of a close-up of Mark there. There we go. Any questions, anytime, just give us a shout. Bye!